What is up, guys? This is Eric with Polar Knives and Steel. I have a new pickup here. Been waiting for this a very long time, and I covered everything up, but it is from Custom Knife Factory. If you've been paying attention lately, you probably know what this is. Get a drink here and pop right in. I'm going to use the Poltergeist. Open this guy up. I have a video on this already on my channel. Pop that open. And here we go. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, you probably know what this is by now. There was a pre-order for these back in March, and they just recently took the final payment, and now they are out. I'm one of the last people to get them based on the pre-orders. Now, you might still be getting them if you one of the last, not the last group. So we're going to pop this guy open. We're going to take a look at the knife. So we've got a little magnet here that looks like it was kind of crushed in shipment. Pretty cool. I've never had a custom knife I've never had a Custom Knife Factory knife. So you can see all the specs there. Hopefully what I've done so far has been in focus. John Sorensen N390 with interesting Tizer CF. Huh. That's interesting. I thought I just got the carbon fiber. I'm not sure if that's just all of them came with that. And that's got a discount on it. Well, cool. I guess maybe one of you guys can just have that. I don't think I'm going to be making a purchase from them anytime soon. Maybe I'll take a look before this goes live, but I'll leave a note down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you get a discount, alright? Don't say I never did anything for you. We got some extra hardware here. That's pretty cool. Now, I've handled a lot of these knives at shows and stuff, and I've always been really impressed. Nothing else. Pretty nice pouch here. It's not a Bill's case, but it's not bad. I've handled these knives at shows, but this will be my first time owning a Custom Knife Factory knife. Kind of a weird way to say it. Okay. Yeah, this is what I ordered. I was a little bit nervous because the card here had more stuff on it. So, cool. This will be my first time holding one of these. Any of these designs, the Evolution, I've handled Drifters by John Sorensen, but never a Rotten. So let's get this other stuff out of screen here just so we can focus on this guy. First impressions, very light. The tie is, obviously the only weight to it. It's got this like kind of brushed finish with dark tie on it. Definitely like a darker color scheme to my knives. My case is over there, but a lot of them have this same, carbon fiber with a dark wash of sorts. So that's why I went for this one. Now, I pre-ordered this a long time ago, so I don't know exactly what was going through my head. But let's go ahead and get in on the details here. I haven't seen any other videos for this guy up on YouTube, so hopefully this all goes well. Very nice. Got that carbon fiber. I don't see any voids, which is good. I'm not a carbon fiber snob or expert. I end up owning a lot of knives with carbon fiber coincidentally. But it looks good. It's like the shred carbon fiber. You got the Custom Knife Factory thing here with the stop pinhole. Hopefully it's in focus. It's a little cold. It's actually about 24 degrees out right now. And so that's why we've got like a little bit of frosting on the blade. It's because it's heating up every time I touch it. It's like changing the temperature. Yeah. A clip very reminiscent of a Marsh Rockstar. Maybe we can pull that out in a comparison vid. Very lightweight. I'm really liking the overall size. It feels good. Aggressive jimping here, much like a Strider. Now, I do have some of those for comparison. And maybe at the end I can go grab one of those other guys. But yeah, like the backspacer. And without further ado, let's open this guy up. I've been holding it long enough. Very smooth. I really dig that blade shape. In person, it's a lot different. I find that with a lot of like knives that are hyped up. Very smooth, typical of a custom knife factory knife. I've had a lot of time playing with one of my buddies. Shout out to Strike, Eugene. I've had a lot of time playing with his Recenti Snafu from these guys, and it is butter. And this is much the same way. It's almost too smooth for me personally, for what I like. I like a little bit of a grittier finish. If you notice on the Poltergeist, this is about perfect for me. And if you don't hit it right, it doesn't want to go, and it needs to like be drop shut. But it's nice and smooth, and that's probably a difference between washers and bearings. But I have noticed that even so, as many knives as I've handled, custom knife factory knives tend to be like that drop shut, smooth, like guillotine that people like nowadays. Can't say it's my favorite type, but I do really enjoy the overall design. You got pretty solid belly on this guy. That's a big knife, and for what it is. Now the retail on these guys was $625 if I remember correctly. They have the pre-order was $111. That was back in March of 2020, and it is like February 9th as I record this. And the deposit was $525. So, oh no, that doesn't add up at all. Just over $600 on these guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, interesting. This is my first time handling it. This is my first impressions. I like it. I like it a lot. You got this nice little swedge down the back here. Pretty much useless other than aesthetic. Comes very narrow up in the choil area, which I don't mind at all. I thought this choil was going to be a little bit small. It actually is quite nice for choking up on this guy, getting a little bit closer, doing some detail work of pretty fine point, despite this guy being pretty thick overall. I mean, this is right in that category. Now, I brought some comparisons out here to show you guys. Let's just get a close-up of this guy real quick. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. That satin grind finish, machine grind finish. We've got the stone washed flats. Also looks to be more of a machined finish. Really aggressive jimping. I dig that, you know, if I'm going to use a knife for work and with gloves, it's nice to have. Again, very smooth. I like a knife with a little bit of break-in, so for me that's actually like a downside to this guy, but it's not bad. Carbon fiber. Very nice. Yeah, I'm excited to play with it more, and I can do like a full video on these guys and the process with pre-ordering. I think this was Custom Knife Factory's first pre-order, and it took a while. It took a while to get out. I know they had probably upwards of 600, 700, 800 knives. I've heard speculation that it was 1,200. Look at that. Let's get a close-up on here. One thing that they always nail is just the authenticity. Sometimes you'll get a collab with a production company that doesn't look like the designer's work, and they always seem to hit it out of the park with, you know, just making a quality product. And this is a knife that was designed specifically for them. I don't think John has even like made a custom 2.0, and this is the EVO 2.0, whereas the design this was obviously originally based on is the EVO custom, and they did the EVO 1.0, and yeah, Johnny Rotten, he's got some of the best grinding in the business, and the Rotten regrinds are absolutely killer. I wish he was a little more readily available because I'd send him some stuff probably. There was a time when he first jumped onto the scene where I had a chance, but I missed it. So let's go ahead and set this guy down here. Let's go, yeah, we'll clip side up. We'll just set him down here, and we will grab probably the closest comparison, a Strider SNG. From what I've seen, this is obviously my first time getting this guy out of the box, so I don't know exactly how close they're going to be, but you can see they share a lot of the same heritage. I know that there's no affiliation between Mick Strider and John Sorensen, as far as I know anyway, but you can't deny, sorry, there's a little bit of a slight incline here. I just don't want to knock them against each other, but so you can see these guys are very similar in overall length. Let's zoom in a little bit, see if we can get a close-up on these guys. So very similar. If these guys were at the same level, you know, we'd be looking at very similar knives. And obviously, price-wise, these are comparable. I mean, the secondary on these old SNGs is absolutely insane right now. So even though this is a 600 plus knife, you know, this is, despite being production, I mean, both of them are production. This is high-end production is what I'd call these. We'll grab the Sabenza out here. This is a 21 with micarta inlays. I'm going to zoom out just a smidge so that I can see these guys in all their glory. Very nice. So you can see a lot bigger pocket clip. Now I believe, yeah, it's kind of like got that milled shape. I'm going to grab my Jeremy Marsh Rockstar and show you the resemblance on this clip because it's pretty uncanny. And now this is my first time holding it, so bear with me for just one moment. Oh, no, I lied. It's, wow, I thought it was much more similar. Maybe on his customs they're a little bit fatter. That is a lot smaller than I thought. And you could see just the difference. It's like an inverted version, so that's my mistake. Pull this guy out. Now, these knives do share some similarities, I mean, at least in blade finish. Honestly, I would have preferred a much more aggressive stonewash on this guy just because I want to put it to work. With most of my knives, that's the plan, you know. I thought this was a much fatter clip. I was sorely mistaken. Well, very nice. Similar price points too. This was, I know this was $625, and if I remember, this was, you know, $536 when everything's said and done. Can't remember the pre-order price now that I think about it. I thought it was $525 said and done, and you can see in this range of knives, it's very, you know, similar in size comparison. It is more expensive retail than either of these guys. Now, secondary on these can be anywhere between, you know, 400 and 1,000, you know, depending on the configuration, maybe even higher. But overall, I really like this guy. It's very nice. We'll see how it carries, and I can get a full overview. Again, that guillotine finish. I did have one more size comparison for you guys. I tried to grab something that you might have seen at like a local sporting goods store or something like that. Something that's a little bit more accessible than, you know, most people don't have a Sabenza or a Strider, especially not an old schooler these days, unless you were around back in the day. But I grabbed a little Benchmade proper for you to give you a little bit of a comparison to what a normal knife might be, so you can get a size reference. And obviously it's quite a bit bigger. Overall blade length, roughly, yes, a little bit longer, probably like 3.5. Let's close this guy. Perfect. Definitely nice and sharp. Where I'm dropping that, it wants to hit me, so I can definitely see myself getting cut by this guy in the near future. But I can't say that I hate it. You know how it goes. Once the knife cuts you, it's yours. So we'll see if he sticks around. But I really enjoy the shape. These guys have been blowing up all over the internet, and I was really happy that I was able to get in on the pre-order, because I know a good designer when I see him, and this is one that stood out to me, and I knew that the EVO was coming. They didn't even really give us pictures, and they were asking for pre-orders. So I definitely happy with it, and now seeing it in hand, holding it, this is probably perfect. I would argue that the 1.0 is probably just a wee bit too big, but I could tell this is going to be a fun fidgeter. It's, you know, for all you weirdos that like the sound a knife makes, it's pretty pingy. I don't know that I like that. You know, again, this is all I need from one of these guys. You know, it's loud enough, but it can also be quiet. This is pretty loud no matter how you slice it. Interesting. I'm gonna have to develop some thoughts on and feelings on this knife, because this is how it always goes. Once you get a new knife, you find that there's just little things that that you notice about them, whether it's the detent strength or, you know, being able to use different parts of the knife. I saw someone front flipping it like this, which is strange to me. I don't even know how they did it. My fingers are kind of oiled right now because I put some lotion on before I started this. But you know, we'll come back with a full overview, because I imagine these are going to be a pretty hot commodity even after, you know, like, I know they're putting some up, but they, you know, for all we know, they'll bring the 1.0s back, and then they won't go for $1,400. Quick side note, these are going from anywhere from market, like retail value, to, I think the highest I've seen to date is $900 for CF and tie, black tie, and then the Damascus ones are crazy. But I've seen the regular production $600 some odd dollar knife, the EVO 1.0, go for as much as $1,400. So these are pretty hot right now, and I mean, for good reason. This design is wicked, and I'm really happy that I got it in the pre-order. I like to get my knives at table. I really don't appreciate secondary market prices. However, I will sell. So, hypocritical in that way. But, yeah, very nice knife. Very happy to own it. You know, it was a wait. Everyone's been asking about tracking numbers on the Rotten Facebook group, and finally mine showed up today. So, yeah. We'll do a full overview, and I'll develop some opinions more on the knife, some use cases, and you know, something like that maybe in the future. But I say that in every video, so, you know, subscribe for occasional videos and cool shit like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like this video if you'd like to see more content in this style. I've got the light box. I've got a pretty extensive collection at this point. But definitely not buying and selling and trading nearly as much as some people. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. It's been Ryder with Polar Knives and Steel, and I will see you later.